In this video, you will learn how to create a Ragdoll death system for an enemy character in Unreal Engine 5. By the end of this tutorial, you will have an enemy that can die using real physics instead of a predefined death animation, which gives you a much more natural and believable result. We will create the required physics asset, connect it to our death logic, and make sure the character properly switches into Ragdoll when health reaches 0. This video is also the final part of our basic AI system series, so if you want to follow everything in the proper order and understand how this enemy was built step by step, I strongly recommend watching the AI series on my channel. But even if you watch this video on its own, you will still clearly understand how the Ragdoll setup works and how to use it in your own project. And after this, we will start a new series focused on more advanced AI systems, where we will go much deeper into topics like behavior tree, blackboard, decision making, investigation, stealth style mechanics, and more complex enemy logic. Also, if you want to help keep this channel alive, please like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment. And if you want to support the channel more directly, joining the channel really helps a lot and makes it easier for me to create videos more frequently. Creating Ragdoll in Unreal Engine 5 is actually very easy once your enemy character is already set up properly. In our case, this fits nicely into the system we already built in this series. We already have our AI character, our weapon system, and our health system. So now, instead of using a predefined death animation, we can make the character collapse naturally by using Ragdoll physics. To do that, open the blueprint for the enemy character that you want to use. In my case, that is the enemy guard character. Once the blueprint is open, go to the Components panel on the left side and select the Mesh component, because this is the skeletal mesh that will use physics for the Ragdoll. After selecting the mesh, move to the Details panel and under the Skeletal Mesh settings, double-click on the Skeletal Mesh asset. This will open the character mesh itself, where we can create the physics setup for the body. Now inside the Mesh editor, go to the Physics tab. In this window, Unreal allows us to create a physics asset for the character. This asset defines the physical bodies that will be attached to the bones, and those bodies are what make the Ragdoll possible. At the bottom right, click Generate All Bodies. Unreal will automatically create collision bodies based on the skeleton and the major bones of the mesh. You can see that Unreal generates these bodies across areas like the torso, arms, and legs, and for most characters, this automatic setup is already good enough to get started. You can absolutely refine and adjust these bodies manually later if you want more accurate physics behavior, but for this tutorial, we do not need to go too deep into that part, because Unreal usually does a solid job with the initial result. So at this stage, the important part is simple. We now have the physics asset that our character needs, and this is the foundation for enabling Ragdoll when the enemy dies. Now that the physics asset is ready, we can go back to the enemy guard blueprint and set up the actual death logic. At this point, we do not need the extra mesh and physics asset tabs anymore, so we can close them and return to the event graph of the enemy character. Here, find the part of the logic where we update the health percentage and check whether the character has died. In our current setup, once the health reaches 0, we destroy the enemy actor. We do not want that anymore, because if we destroy the actor immediately, there is no character left to simulate Ragdoll physics. So the first step is to disconnect the Destroy Actor node from that death execution path. Now, instead of destroying the enemy, we want to prepare the character for Ragdoll properly. There are a few steps here, and each one matters. First, drag the capsule component into the graph and create a Set Collision Enabled node. Set the new type to No Collision. This is important because the capsule is normally responsible for keeping the character upright and handling character collision. If we leave it active after death, it can interfere with the skeletal mesh and cause the Ragdoll to float, twitch, or behave in a very strange way. Next, drag the mesh component into the graph and create Set Collision Profile Name. Set the profile name to Ragdoll. This tells Unreal to use a collision setup that is already designed for physics-based character bodies. If you are wondering where this Ragdoll profile comes from, you can find it inside Project Settings. Open Project Settings, then under the Engine section, go to Collision, and inside the Presets area, you will see the available collision profiles, including Ragdoll. Unreal provides this for us by default, and in most cases, it is already configured well enough, so I do not recommend changing it unless you have a very specific reason. After that, go back to the blueprint and use the mesh again to create Set Simulate Physics, and make sure simulation is enabled. This is the step that actually allows the skeletal mesh to stop following animation and start reacting to physics bodies from the physics asset we created earlier. Then, drag in the character movement component and call Disable Movement. This gives us a cleaner and more reliable death state, because once the enemy dies, we want to make sure character movement logic is no longer trying to control the body. So this gives us a solid base workflow. The character dies, the capsule stops interfering, the mesh switches to the Ragdoll collision profile, physics simulation starts, and movement is disabled. This setup already works, and for many projects, this may be completely enough. But personally, I do not like stopping here, because while the Ragdoll falls correctly, it still feels a bit passive. I want the body to react more naturally to the actual shot direction, so in the next step, we will apply impulse to the mesh and make the death feel much more believable. But before doing that, let us test the base version first. Compile, save, go back into the level, grab the gun, and test the result. Now let us test the result. Go into the level, grab the gun, and keep shooting the enemy until it falls. And as you can see, this already looks very good. What is nice here is that the character is already reacting to our existing impulse system, so we do not need to build extra impulse logic specifically for the Ragdoll death. Let me quickly explain why that is happening. If we go back to the third-person character blueprint, to the place where we handle firing and perform the line trace, in the previous parts of this series, we already added impulse logic for physical objects and destroyable actors. That same object impulse setup is already doing its job here as well, because once the enemy dies and starts simulating physics, the mesh can now react to that force. So in this case, the system is already working together the way we want. We do not need to create another separate impulse setup just for death. Now let us test it one more time. Open the level again, grab the gun, and shoot the enemy until it dies. After that, keep firing at the body and you can see that the Ragdoll continues reacting to the shots with additional force. That makes the result feel much more physical and much more believable. If you want a stronger reaction, you can increase the impulse strength inside the character blueprint, in the section where we calculate the impulse direction and multiply that force before applying it. So now you have a full physics-based death setup for your enemy character. We created the physics asset, we enabled Ragdoll when health reached 0, we disabled the capsule collision and character movement, and our existing weapon impulse system continues to work with the dead body automatically. Before we finish this video, let me remind you that liking the video, subscribing to the channel, leaving a comment, or using join and the super thanks buttons really helps me keep this channel alive and continue creating free content for you. And one final point. At this stage, our basic AI system, weapon system, health system, and death setup are now in place. Is this a fully polished production-ready enemy system? Of course not. There are still many things we can improve, like better aiming, the laser system I mentioned before, and much more advanced AI behavior. But I think this is a good point to wrap up the basics and move into more advanced topics next, where we can build more complex systems like investigation, decision-making, stealth-style behavior, and other more interesting AI features. So let me know in the comments what you want to see next, and I will use that feedback when planning the upcoming videos.